So welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be here and virtually connect with all of you on a topic that is super important to me, empowering mothers at work. My name is Nikki Kent, and I'm the Chief Revenue Officer at MamaBa. We're the female-founded, women-led startup in Burlington, Vermont. For those of you that might be joining us from outside of the United States, Vermont is a small state in New England that borders my home state of New York. Vermont is the home of many famous brands that are pushing for social change, such as Ben & Jerry's ice cream, Burton snowboards, and Seventh Generation. I was lucky enough to go to college here at the University of Vermont, where I was a student athlete. I played Division I soccer, or football, as the rest of the world knows it. So I want to share a little bit about my career background, just so you guys kind of understand why I'm here today. I started my career just out of school in technology sales, selling hardware and software for a company called Icon Office Solutions. We were a publicly traded company that eventually got acquired by one of our Japanese manufacturers, Ricoh. After 7 years of working for a Fortune 500 company, I took a director level position at a local family-owned and very well-funded and venture-backed software development company called My Web Grocer. I led a team there that managed our major grocery retailer partnerships across the world. We were setting them up with a software as a service or an enterprise platform to do grocery delivery and pickup, something super relevant in today's world. About 3 years into my career, and My Web Grocer, I had my son Asher, who is pictured on the screen here. This was 5 years ago, so I've aged slightly. Don't hold it against me. After a year of being a new mom in the male-dominated tech industry with no paid parental leave program and constant travel and being on the road, I decided that the company that I worked for, and quite possibly the tech industry in general, might not be conducive to motherhood. And so when I think of this paradigm shift of my desire to find a professional purpose, it's certainly tied to motherhood. And I often go back to my favorite Steve Jobs quote, which is about doing great work and work that you are passionate about and never stopping until you find that. I knew that if I was leaving my baby every day, 8 to 10 hours a day, or often overnights for work travel, I had to find that purpose. And thankfully, I found MamaBa. So I want to give everybody a little bit of background on MamaBa, who we are as a company in terms of being dedicated to transforming the culture of breastfeeding. Our mission is to create a healthier society through changing this cultural perception of both breast pumping and breastfeeding that affords every woman to nurse her baby regardless of her circumstances. For us, we have seen it play out that breastfeeding is, we want it to be a real choice and not just a privilege for all mothers. My core work and job responsibilities have been with the founders since the beginning, has been dedicated to partnering with some extremely progressive companies. Many of them are technology companies to support their working mothers. Walmart is an enterprise client of ours, and super proud to be placing Walmart pods in stores across the country for their associates and for their guests. Bank of America's financial centers, Apple, Tesla, and SpaceX. It's pretty cool to be able to send a lactation pod to a rocket scientist in SpaceX for her to be able to make milk for her baby. Johnson & Johnson and AT&T, just to kind of name a few. I want to help frame up for you the problem that together with these partners we're working to solve. So there are 4 million babies born in the United States a year. The initiation rates right now are at an all-time high. 83% of moms initiate breastfeeding. That's been in turn to a lot of the healthcare systems becoming certified as baby friendly and educating on the importance of breastfeeding. what the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends is exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months of a baby's life. And what happens is that based on this lack of infrastructure to support a breastfeeding mom, that number actually plummets down to 25% within the first 6 months. And what we know is that there are 8.6 million mothers in the workplace with children under 3. And we need to do better because if we could make that number 90% at 6 months, we'd actually save 3,300 infant and maternal lives and $17.2 billion annually. That's in lost wages, that's in healthcare costs. And we know that the most major barriers to breastfeeding reported by low income and minority women include this lack of social, work, and cultural acceptance and support. So we've been on a mission at MamaBa to change this paradigm with our smart design for breastfeeding moms on the go. We like to say that necessity is the mother of invention. And for our founders, they found themselves in a world designed specifically for the patriarchy without a whole lot of resources and support for the working, traveling mom. So think she's toting around her breast pump, and she's traveling and she's having to pump in places and make food for her baby, like a server closet or a back of a client's car or a conference room with glass windows, or even worse, and this was me even just 6 years ago with my first child, the bathroom, where is no place to make food for a baby. We knew that the mom on the go needed a dedicated and intentionally designed space for her that was easy for her employer to and/or a facility to deploy very quickly, and simultaneously could become this very strong cultural symbol. We like to call it our choice architecture of the pod shape of breastfeeding support. Our Happy Breast logo as well, all about a celebration of breastfeeding. So we invented our freestanding lactation suite. It's what you see here. You've probably seen them in airports, sports stadiums, schools, hospitals, municipal buildings, military bases, or your workplace. And we also designed intentionally a mobile app to digitally empower that mom to not only find the space, but unlock it, engage, customize the space, and engage with the community to cheer her on. So we realized really early on that we were part of an important revolution in work, in which new mothers don't have to sacrifice their mom goals or their business goals as long as they have workplace culture that supports them. So I want to talk today about 5 key pillars of what we know new moms need in the workplace. The first being super basic, a celebration of motherhood. The second, mandated policies and legal legislation to support her. Workplace flexibility and support, empowerment through technology, and finally, a community and advocacy. I'm going to jump in and kind of take you through each of them. So first seems super simple, but is something that most companies don't get right. I don't know if you all knew this, but that a mom has 2 times the odds of quitting breastfeeding in the month she returns to work compared to her counterparts at home. Motherhood in the workplace needs to be both supported and celebrated. Women should feel encouraged to tell their employer that they're expecting, actually excited to return to work and meet their breastfeeding goals because they know they have the resources and support to do that. And they should really be most supported in the process of navigating both new motherhood and being a career mom. It's uncharted territory and one in which they need tons of support. This is a fun example for you guys of kind of how my world has played out. So my first, when I was pregnant for my first son 6 years ago, when I was in this male-dominated tech job, my CEO, I happened to be pregnant and I hadn't told them yet because I was super fearful to do so. And they said, Nick, you don't need to start a family now. You're super young. You have plenty of time, which made it even harder for me to want to speak up and say what I needed and that I was proud to be pregnant. And then this photo here is a picture of my Mamava family throwing me a baby shower with a breast pump piñata. So I'm sure you guys can kind of see the difference from my first kid to my second kid based on the workplace environment that I was in. Second on the list is that there should be some mandated policies in the workplace that support new motherhood. First and foremost, a parental leave policy. Again, also something you would think would be basic. I don't know if you knew this, but 93% of low-wage workers have zero access to paid family leave. 25% of them return to work just 2 weeks postpartum. Thankfully, there are some federal legislation that is part of the 2008 Fair Labor Standard Act here in the U.S. that protects both pregnant and breastfeeding moms in the workplace. State and local government across the United States have been taking steps to improve upon that legislation. My example here are two of our favorite states in the U.S. For breast-in-class legislation, which is California and the great city of New York. What they've done here is they've mandated that accommodations need to be in place to support breastfeeding moms for up to 3 years. It applies to all types of workers, so salaried, hourly, part-time, non-exempt, and they lower the threshold down to 15 or more employees in a given workspace. My favorite part of this plan, besides the fact that they mandate what types of amenities need to be inside the space for the mom, is that you have to have a written lactation accommodation policy for the employer to provide to the employee. This is critical. We at MamaBa have worked really hard with some big global corporations in helping to author their global lactation policies. And having this and having moms have access to it is critical to their success in returning back to the workplace. Next to talk with you guys about is that we found the power of partnerships that would help enable workplace flexibility and support. In a recent study by the company Work, and that's spelled W-E-R-K, they're really cool, check them out. They found that only 34% of women actually have access to workplace flexibility, which places a massive burden on working parents. What Mamava did together with Medela is that we put a comprehensive single source solution for employers to go above and beyond their health plan and traditional benefits to support a new mom's healthy return to the workplace. So this would include technology resources, education, even a customized gift box to the mom when she returns to work or when she goes out on leave, which is in fact a celebration of her. Another part of the program is that employers can actually get equipment and supplies that they can keep in the workplace in their lactation accommodations, likely a Mamava pod, so that moms are not toting their gear back and forth. The number of things you have to remember as a new mom, the employer providing that support is so huge. One thing that we love about this solution, it's very a la carte, is that an employer could choose to offer 24/7 lactation services via a telehealth app to their mom community and their new parents. It includes unlimited prenatal, pediatric, lactation support 24/7, quick telehealth access, which is amazing. And for those moms that are traveling and on the go, like I often was, a milk shipping program so that they can actually, from milk storage, so that they can actually get their milk home to their baby efficiently. So these are, without a doubt, the type of flexibility and support programs above and beyond a health plan and traditional benefits that a new mom would need to be successful. I want to give an example quick of what tech-enhanced empowerment looks like in motherhood. Our Mamava mobile app allows women to find our dedicated lactation spaces, whether she's traveling for work and in an airport or finding an open place on her corporate campus. She can receive vacancy alerts when the pod is available. She securely opens the pod with her smartphone, and then she can customize the experience when she gets inside. She can dim the lights, she can change the fans. This autonomous access empowers her to access a physical space and a digital environment that's going to be filled with content that's relevant to supporting her breastfeeding journey. Our Words of Support is another really amazing example of a digital community that we formed. So in our physical pods, it started in the Atlanta airport. moms were making these beautiful notes and sticky notes and leaving messages to the next mom who was coming in to pump behind her. And so we digitally enabled that within our app, so that moms could perpetuate that love and community of support that we know that they need. So that gets me to my favorite part of the work that we're doing to revolutionize the workplace, making it more realistic for women to reach both their career and motherhood goals. And that's that women need a community of support around them. We know that supportive female coworkers can play an important role in a woman's decision to continue breastfeeding after returning to work. And we also know that this lean-in generation of millennial moms who are saying time's up are advocating for each other. They're advocating for space. They're advocating for resources. And they're speaking up to their employer about what they need to meet both motherhood and career goals in the workplace. We love these photos that moms snap inside our pods. We call them brelfies. And it's where typically a mom is going in to do something that's very private to her, and she's sharing this because she wants to normalize breastfeeding and normalize that working moms are going to be with their pumps and not their babies. And it's something for us that is driving us every day in this work revolution. So I want to give you guys a couple of takeaways and how and what you can do what we like to call lactivate. So we have a lot of lactivists in our world that are helping us propel this progress and change. So first, celebrate and educate. I recommend that you can throw a baby shower, or you can throw a return to work party after a woman has had a baby or dad has had a baby. But I recommend too that you consider sharing mama-friendly return to work resources with your employees. Two of my favorites are Jessica Shortall's Work Pump Repeat and Lauren Brody's The Fifth Trimester. Second is know the laws for parents in the workplace. Share these with your HR team, your legal team, and your colleagues. If you need help with lactation laws, we do a great job of breaking it down on a state-by-state basis here in the U.S. If you're in a position of leadership, I recommend focusing on creating inclusive corporate policies, dedicated spaces, and communities that support working families. If you happen to be in more of an individual contributor role, you can work on creating inclusive technology-enabled solutions that would empower new parents in the workplace. So if you're a developer, think about what can I create that supports women in the workplace? This is happening. They are coming back to work. How do I best support them? Finally, use your voice to advocate for working families in the workplace and in the world. That is the biggest tool we have in the toolbox. Women undoubtedly hold up the world. We know this. And so I wanted to open us up to some questions at this time. All right. Looks like it's so great to hear from everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. I know most of you have probably had to pump in a bathroom too. And I'm so thankful that most of you have pushed for dedicated mom's room in your new office for space. Let me know if there's any questions that you guys have. And yes, these slides and the recording will be available later to you. I love that you have, Mega has a 22-month-old. I'll tell you guys right now, I'm pregnant with my third baby. I'm due in a month and a half. I think I'm kind of crazy that I'm doing this again, but I'm excited. Any questions? Anybody else has anything else? Thank you for the congratulations. I think I'm kind of crazy. Show us your bump. It's pretty big. She's pretty big, but I'm excited that I'm bringing another female into this world. And what I'm most excited about is that hopefully this world is a little bit different for her. So that's what I'm working on to make that change. Any other questions for me on motherhood and empowering it in the workplace? All right. Thanks everybody so much for joining. I appreciate you all. Thanks, Jana. I hope to be a good role model for her. Thanks, guys. Everyone have a good day. Enjoy the rest of the sessions. Honored to be here with all of you. Thanks.